Two reviews in one day? Heck yes. We're going back to back right now because I want to talk about Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer? Demon Slayer? I won't talk about Demon Slayer. I want to talk about Demon Slayer, Swordsmith Village arc. And because I feel like there's been like a discourse around it, and I haven't really done an anime review. I did my watch along of Attack on Titan, and I used to be on Attack on Titan with Ace, but I just love talking about anime. So we're gonna talk about Demon Slayer because it's probably gonna be another 2 years before we get the next season, which yikes. But man, I had a great time with this season. Now, was it as good as Entertainment District? I don't think so, and it comes down to one thing. I've seen this like sentiment echoed, and I'm not trying to copy anybody, but for me, Entertainment District was good because while I liked, a lot of the story parts of season 1 and Mugen Train, I really liked Mugen Train because of Rengoku, but the lower level demon that takes over the train, I didn't really like them as like the big villain. And I know Akaza comes in, the number 3 demon comes in and is the real big villain against Rengoku, and that's like the crowning achievement of that, which I loved. But Entertainment District really took it to a new level because number 6 demon was a threat that we have never seen the likes of before. We've seen, we saw the number 12, the Ryu or whatever his name is. I'm really bad with names, guys, so you just have to bear with me. The spider demon, Giyu just obliterates him, without even, breaking a sweat, let alone taking a breath. And that's why, and then, with the Mugen Train thing, kind of the same. There's a tough part because of the demon's powers of them putting to sleep and him having to kill himself. That took some real iron will from Tanjiro and the rest of them. And so that was the tough part. And then Akaza comes in and, Rengoku tries his hardest, but doesn't succeed. But succeeds, in saving everybody from the train, including our 3 heroes. But in Entertainment District arc, the two demons, the brother and sister, they were on, and I say this non-pun wise, they're just on demon mode. They were the whole time just kicking ass. And I remember it was Saturdays was Demon Slayer and then Sunday was Attack on Titan, and I was just stressed beyond belief about both of my shows in a way that I had never been. Because I didn't know what was going to happen. I don't read the manga. I'm an anime-only watcher. You guys know this. And it was just so stressful. And, every time I see it on TikTok, every time I see a YouTube video of it, I will watch that final Tengen versus the demon fight. It's Gyutaro, I think is his name. I'm really bad with names, guys. I apologize. And then I went and saw the theater premiere with the last 2 episodes of Entertainment District and the first episode of Swordsmith Village. And seeing that fight on the big screen was one of my favorite experiences of the year so far. It was so awesome. But the danger I felt and the true of how are they going to do this was so real. And I didn't know until it happened. Inosuke was stabbed through the heart. Zenitsu was beneath the building. Tanjiro had, cuts all over his body, had exhausted himself, he's getting teased, and then finally they managed to pull it out, and Tengen comes back with one arm, with blood coursing with poison, and somehow they managed to do it, and it was the most amazing thing ever. I never felt that way in this season. Now, that's totally okay that different Demon Slayers are better than others. Morichiro showing that he's truly that guy, he is him in this arc, is okay with me, but I needed more from he was the number 5 demon, the guy with the jars and everything like that. But all he did was put Michiro in a bubble, and that was literally 2 episodes worth before Michiro gets out and then just immediately dominates him. And there's no demon backstory. There's no let's feel sorry for this demon, even though he's a terrible demon that eats a bunch of people. he got here because he had a really hard life. We get that a little bit with the number 4 demon, and the finale of this, like the hour-long episode, was really, really good, and it kind of not made up for the rest of the season, but like gave us that Demon Slayer goodness that we're used to. And I feel like this is like a case of like, we're just so spoiled because Demon Slayer has been S tier for so long that even if it's like A+ tier, it might be a little bit of a letdown, especially after Entertainment District gave us, I know I'm an anime noob, but I've seen a lot of anime, like, you know, edits and stuff like that. Like, that thing was insane. UFO table, or Ufotable, however you say it, just like let us just eat a freaking filet mignon medium rare with the juices still flowing out of it, with a nice baked potato on the side, a crispy salad, and then gave us, you know, a death by chocolate lava cake right afterwards with that entire Entertainment District arc. And now we're here with a gourmet cheeseburger with, you know, Kobe beef, like with bacon on it and crisp tomatoes and lettuce and whatever, you know, aioli you guys want to have on it. That's what I compare it to, is where it's still delicious, but maybe it's not a steak. Maybe it's not a steak, or, you know, if you're a vegetarian, whatever vegetarian relates to a steak equals a steak. But I still think that's okay. I don't think that's a truly bad thing. I think there are still amazing moments. I wanted to see more, because when Morichiro first goes, he's just like, he's on it. As soon as like the number 4 demon comes in, he goes immediately into misbreathing, and I wish I would have seen more misbreathing techniques because it was just so gorgeous. Any complaints about sorry, any complaints about like the CGI, I truly don't understand. There was one shot in the finale where, spoiler alert, I guess I've spoiled it a little bit, but anyway, spoiler alert, I guess. I'll put this up just in case, you know. Right before we see what happened, because like that whole, well, actually I'll get to that in a later. There's one shot in the finale, and I'll talk about the finale like kind of on its own. But leading up to that, having Morichiro fight number 5 and him kind of just like slicing and dicing him really easily, I'm kind of okay with that to a certain extent, but like it did feel rushed, where like we got 2 episodes of him being stuck in a bubble, and then suddenly when he's out of the bubble, he's like, okay, it's go time and you're dead. I'm like, oh, I didn't need like Tengen level, like city destroying freaking, I didn't need that, but I need a little bit more. Like, this is the 5th most powerful demon on the planet, and this is all you got for us? Like, who promoted you? Like, are you someone's nephew? Is he a Nepo baby or something? Like, what are we doing here? Like, number 4, I understand. He's got all the different emotions, like the 4 clones, and they combine into one clone. He's got like the wooden dragons and everything. That I understand. I get why that guy is where he is. Now, we got a little bit of his backstory, and we'll go into the finale now. Because it ties into like Mitsuri's backstory is beautiful. I love that her parents are so supportive, because you never see that in anime. It's like supportive parents. They're like, you know what, if you don't find a match, you can just stay at home with us forever. We love you. Like, we want your hair to be pink. We want you to be strong. We want you to eat as much as you want. And I love that. I truly loved it. It was so sweet. And I loved her being exactly who she is and not taking anything less. It was a great, great story. But even with Mitsuri, like, there was a moment where, you know, she goes in to fight number 4, like the final dragon number 4, and Tanjiro's, oh, even if you cut his head off, like, he's not gonna die. And he like blasts her with the echo blast that has been getting, but like, I was never afraid. Like, you know, it wasn't like Gaiu's, like, not Gaiu, the guy's poison, number 6 poison. I was like, oh god, if you get touched by those things, they're crazy. Because like Tanjiro and oh, what's his name? I've got it right here. Genya keep getting hit with this like echo blast and all the different other like forces and lightning and everything, and they're just wearing them. They're just taking them on the chin over and over, and it's just like, I understand these are our protagonists. I understand that they're things, but like, aren't these demons supposed to be powerful? Like, I don't know. there are points in this where I'm just like, I don't feel the fear that I felt in season, in Entertainment District, where like, I don't need the same thing over and over. But every time we go up against an upper level demon, which it seems like that's all we're getting now, which I'm okay with, like, it's the progression of the story. Tanjiro has outgrown, these street level demons. He's on to the big bads. But like, I need to feel the fear of God that like maybe Tanjiro's not going to die because we love him. And maybe Nezuko won't, even though we'll talk about Nezuko in a second. But like, I don't know these Hashira. I don't. And I'm not saying like they're expendable. But, Rengoku, gone. Tengen, I was like, are we just here to see... Like, I remember watching Entertainment District, and I was like, oh my god, are we just going to lose a Hashira every season? Is this what this show is? And then he barely survives and retires with his 3 smoking hot wives. Like, okay, we won the battle, but he's gone. So now we're missing a Hashira. We're missing 2 Hashira now. We're down 2. One, is retired and one is in the grave. But then this one, it's just like, nah, they're both great. They withstood the most powerful attacks you could ever think of without a scratch. Like, I mean, not without a scratch, like, but I was never worried about Marichiro getting poisoned. Like, he said, like, he got stuck with all the needles. He's like, oh, well, my poison will work. And I'm just like, it doesn't feel like it is. But I don't know. I'm conflicted where I really enjoyed a lot of this. But I just like, I miss that like heavy breathing, panic attack inducing. I say this, hindsight's 2020. Maybe I would have enjoyed it in the moment, but I would have been like, at least like, this is crazy. But they're like, Mitsuri does put on an amazing show against the, the dragons and everything. And it does seem like she is about to die when the demon gets killed. But even like, I wish they would have shown that. Like they played for a little bit of a joke, but just like she was starting to struggle, and I wish we could have seen that. But the real juice of this episode was where they, they fall down a cliff, they're in an open field, and number 4 is like, oh, I gotta find people to eat. And Tanjiro cuts off his head, but it turns out he's still not dead, and the sun is coming up, and he's covering Nezuko because she's burning. And then she kicks him off of him to go save the villagers, and I'm just like, this is not happening. And we get the anime flashback of like every one of Nezuko's highlight reels and everything, and I was just like, this is happening. Nezuko's gonna burn up before our eyes, and he kills number 4, which is a great kill. We get a little bit of his backstory, but not much. Basically that he has like a split, like his powers come from like his split personality, where like I think he literally doesn't remember any of the crimes that he commits, and then he just like becomes a demon, and then he like kills the leader of the village, and just like keeps like, oh, I didn't do anything, even though it's like his other personality. Like he's like the James McAvoy of Demon Slayer. But that was the moment where like the CGI looked a little wonky, where you see Nezuko's POV of her walking towards Tanjiro, because like he's broken down, and I was like, wow, are we gonna get like a 4-episode depression arc of Tanjiro just being at the Butterfly Mansion and just like having no motivation, because this was his entire motivation? And you know what? I was already ready for it. But that twist really got me. She can stay in the sunlight now. And I love that we got, I can't think of names. Why can I not think of names? The big bad, Michiro, no. What's his name? Oh my gosh. Kibutsuji, thank you. Muzan. We got him like in his kid form, and he kills his like fake mom and his fake nanny. And he's like, oh, finally, I don't have to search for this blue spider lily anymore. We've got this girl, and I will eat her, and I will be immune to the sun. And it's like, okay, here we go. And so the finale was great. It took me on a roller coaster of emotions. I love Mitsuri. I love this whole gang. I love Genya. Of course, the voice actor who voices Bakugo in My Hero Academia voices Genya. That's perfect casting. Literally perfect casting. I love it. So it wasn't a disappointment of a season. It was just different. And I just missed that danger. I missed that danger feeling. and that anxiety feeling of what I got in Entertainment District. And I don't know what's next. I know Infinity Castle arc is coming. You know, we've got 2, 3, 1, and Muzan to deal with. So we got some real big bads on the way. And we've got a few other Hashira that's going to step up, and I'm really, really excited to see them in action. But I hope we don't have to wait 2 years. I'm hoping it's like, 18 months. I'll give myself 18 months. Because, okay, so this final episode, so 2023, when did the first episode air? That was April 9th, 2023, and the final episode of Entertainment District Arc was... Oh, so it was only a year. It was like 14 months. If I have to wait another 14 months, I am okay with that. I'm sure they're working hard on it now. They have not disappointed us in any department, especially the animation department. So thank you guys. I know it was 15 minutes, 16 minutes of me waxing poetic and forgetting anime names, but I will try and do more of these because I just really wanted to talk about a season that I really, really liked and a show that I really, really love. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Bye-bye.